Hey, it's the Odd Man. In the summer of 2022, I visited Sanford, Maine, where one of my daughters and her family live. And while I was there, of course, I toured the town and did a run at a nature conservancy property. Just a few miles out of town are these two different preserves. I believe both are managed by the Nature Conservancy, but the Wells Barrens is clearly more natural, if you will, and the Kennebunk Plains allows a lot more public access. But I really like this Wells Barrens location, and as you can see, I've run it several times, a couple of times last year in October of 2021, and twice this year. My typical run's about 4.5 miles there. Sanford is a pretty nice town. It's got a population of about 22,000, and the little town of Springvale, Maine is contiguous with it. So the two of them form a pretty large area. Sanford was originally a mill town with grist mills and sawmills and that sort of stuff. But then in the middle of the 1800s, they started manufacturing textiles here. In the center of town is a huge mill pond, pond number 1, which is now part of the park system, but represents the historical center of town.
Bella, stop.
Last fall, we did the witch paddle on pond number 1.
Lisa, you look magnificent.
Oh, thank you.
Compared to the West Coast, Sanford has a pretty good stock of historic buildings and houses. They've done a pretty good job showcasing those. Sanford has a downtown with all the usual amenities, but one thing that's outstanding is the Franny's Mini Donuts.
One of my favorite places.
Sanford also has a pretty nice system of trails and parks. The town of Sanford has a huge airport. You can see they also have some large areas of solar panels on the thing. There's also a local cafe that pilots fly into often on Sunday mornings.
I'm outside of Sanford, Maine at a property called the Wells Barren Preserve. It's a property of the Nature Conservancy. In acreage, this is a fairly large property of the Nature Conservancy. I'll do a 4-mile run, which is essentially just an out and back here. As you can see, the weather isn't terribly good, but it's not terribly bad either. It's almost 60 degrees out. This property in the Wells Barrens is primarily wild blueberries and open meadows. But there's this one area that's kind of like a sand dune. I don't usually go running out here, because it is so soft and sandy. I really like and appreciate the Nature Conservancy. These guys have done an incredible job with unique and significant ecological biomes that they've preserved. Years ago, I volunteered for the Nature Conservancy out of their Portland, Oregon office. I came out here one year and these wild Maine blueberries were thick. You can see some of them are even cooking now. When I was here last fall, they were doing one of their burns. This is an area that benefits from the prescribed burns they do. And I think it's one of the reasons the wild blueberries are so healthy and productive here. I am really wet and my shoes are totally wet, but look how clean they are. How sweet is that? Singing in the rain, just singing in the rain. A wonderful feeling, I'm happy again.
I'm going home. I'm going home. Been a long time now and I'm going home.
This is the Odd Man, out.